The governor saying last month that they're not ready to return to reusable just yet. In New York, Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
White House Coronavirus Task Force member Dr. Anthony Fauci says airlines flying planes at full capacity is problematic in fighting attempts to stop the spread of COVID-19. Several U.S. airlines are limiting capacity between 60 and 67%. American Airlines has been filling planes despite coronavirus concerns. I'm Rich Dennison, and this is Fox News.
Station KVFD News when it breaks.
With your KVFD News update, I'm Rob Jones. 48-year-old Brian Osborne of Fort Dodge has been sentenced to a quarter century in federal prison. He received that sentence in federal court after he previously pleaded guilty to charges of conspiracy to distribute and intent to distribute methamphetamine. Osborne does have a history of prior drug-related convictions. A Calhoun County woman has won $30,000 in prize money from the Iowa lottery. Barbara Block from Manson has won the fifth richest prize in the Iowa lottery's Amazing Money Scratch-Off game. The ticket was purchased at Dale's Corner Store here in Fort Dodge. She claimed her prize late last week at the lottery's regional office in Storm Lake. On Tuesday, the state trooper driving an SUV carrying Governor Kim Reynolds hit a Black Lives Matter activist who stood in front of the vehicle in an attempt to speak with the governor. Radio Iowa's O.K. Henderson has more.
Jalen Cavill tweeted that he's physically okay and was hoping Reynolds would roll her window down and speak with the 24 protesters. The group traveled 90 minutes north of Des Moines to protest outside of some of the governor's events. A spokesman for the Iowa State Patrol told the Des Moines Register preliminary reports from the scene indicate Cavill intentionally stepped in front of the moving vehicle and was not hurt. The protesters have been urging Reynolds to sign an executive order by July 4th that would automatically restore voting rights to released felons. Radio Iowa, I'm O.K. Henderson.
In sports, number 1 Fort Dodge softball, a 2-0 road win last night over Class 4A's number 1 team Carlisle. Jalen Adams a complete game 3-hit shutout, striking out 9. The game was scoreless through 4 innings. Dodgers got 1 in the 5th and 1 in the 7th. Senior Logan Snetzer drove in both runs for the Dodgers. Dodgers back in action tomorrow, hosting Des Moines North at Rogers Park for a doubleheader starting at 5. Dodger baseball on the road today, a doubleheader at Des Moines Lincoln. St. Edmunds softball on the road today, taking on Clear Lake. Baseball scores from the area last night. Algona fell to Esterville Lincoln Central 8-4. Pocahontas area remains unbeaten after downing West Bend Mallard 9-5. Panorama over Ogden 3-1. Webster City edged Nevada 6-5. Boone blanked Humboldt 8-0. And Newell Fonda cruised to a 17-5 win over Ridgeview. On the softball side, Humboldt blanked Pocahontas area 10-0. Emmetsburg over Manson Northwest Webster 11-8. And Newell Fonda over Okoboji 10-0.
For KVFD from the Jerry Sheeter Newsroom, I'm Rob Jones.
Here's the AM 1400 KVFD weatherology forecast. Partial sunshine develops here this afternoon. We'll see high in the mid-80s. Winds out of the southeast to 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy sky conditions and a low near 69. By Thursday, sunshine, a high around 89 degrees. Then by Friday, a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms here late. Blend of clouds and sunshine develops, a high of 89. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 81.
Raising pigs in Iowa creates opportunity for young people and rural communities to build a positive future. While others may not share our passion for farming, we know Iowans share our values of hard work, love of family, and desire to be a good neighbor. By focusing on these values, we know we're helping Iowa be better for tomorrow. To learn more, go to iowapork.org.
Revitec fungicide from BASF has been specifically developed for the selective soybean grower who doesn't compromise. If you think good is good enough, if you're okay with just achieving rather than overachieving, if average is your goal, this is not the fungicide for you. Revitec fungicide, brand new chemistry, 3 no-excuse modes of action, 0 modes of compromise. Sounds like the fungicide for you. Revitec Fungicide from BASF. That's smart. Always read and follow label directions.
Have you ever wondered how the brain works? What makes us tick? Join me, Greg Woods, every Wednesday morning for all the latest news on the brain, on aging, and the science behind it all. It's The Mind Boggles, every Wednesday morning at 8:30 on AM 1400 KVFD.
Michael Devine, the Doctor of Truth.
Does anyone have anything they'd like to confess?
At AM 1400 KVFD.
No, I don't have anything to confess and nothing to apologize for today, surprisingly enough. Except I should apologize to Dr. Menke just because. Terry, please accept my profound apology.
Apology accepted.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't need any reason to accept the apology. That seems to be the deal here lately, doesn't it?
I seem to suffer from guilt by association because I know that I'm not anything that would ever need any apologies for. So obviously you are the reason that people are apologizing.
I don't know, Terry. There's plenty of people that want you to apologize.
You want a chunk?
Yeah.
Want a chunk of me?
Hey, have you seen your Facebook page lately, or the city Facebook page?
Well, I see the city Facebook page.
You scrutinize it.
Yeah.
Don't give me that.
Yeah, I enjoyed particularly the fireworks comments on the city Facebook page about how inept the city was for allowing fireworks to slip.
Yeah, but he never checks, ladies and gentlemen. Did you see this? Now he's going to give a list. Of,
I have my list of grudges.
City fireworks, what?
Well, that's not it hasn't been a city project for 8 years or so. That was always a private, in conjunction with Fort Frenzy. We always put the fireworks on. So there was a volunteer committee that worked with the Fort Frenzy staff and ownership to put on the city fireworks, quote unquote city fireworks. And, the city provided police officers, fire department, help with the barricades and traffic control and whatever. But it wasn't a city project. It was always a private project, and that's the way it's been for years. The city, about 2 years ago, donated some money towards the fireworks project, simply because we were having a hard time raising money. That fireworks show was $20,000 to $30,000. I think the last year was $20,000. The year before that was $25,000. But it's always been in that $20,000 to $25,000 range. And so the city donated $5,000.
What a bunch of cheapskates! I mean, 4th of July, birth of our country. And Fort Dodge, the largest town in Webster County, can never seem to get the city involved in a fireworks demonstration.
That's because the city obviously doesn't feel like that's the correct use of city
Hell,
money.
you don't even want to help with the food pantry.
Oh, that's not true.
That's exactly true, and you know it is.
That's not true. We gave you $247.
$247? Well, it wiped out poverty in Webster County.
That was like 6 years ago. Get over it.
Oh, 6 And now the $247 6 years ago, I have noticed that hunger and need in Fort Dodge have been wiped out by the $247.
Remember who you're talking to here, big
boy. What are you going to do about the racism situation anyway?
I don't
snap
know.
your fingers or apologize for something?
Let's stay on the food thing here just for a second.
Just for a second.
Yeah, okay. We've been in discussion with the backpack program, near and dear to my heart. We've been doing that now for about 12 years. This year we have run into a little bit of a kink. Not only don't we know what the school's going to be doing, we don't know if and when the school's going to go back. We're not sure, delivery-wise, what we're going to be able to get into the schools, if we're going to be able to get in, and what we can get into the schools. But not only that, the prison's still locked down, so we don't have anybody to pack our food. And on top of that, Walmart, who is that's where we buy a lot of our food, will not take bulk orders right now. So we're looking at some problems.
Even Walmart's
having problems. That it's a never-ending process. But anyway, we are well aware of the fact that there's a lot of families in the community that have had issues. A lot of the food pantries have stepped up, and we encourage you to support them. And a lot of them have got distribution plans out there, so support them.
But we really need to fund a downtown parking lot that nobody uses anymore.
What parking lot's that?
Yeah, the one across from what used to be McGregor Furniture, right to the east there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do something with that. We need to fund that and let people go hungry. There we go.
East of the McGregors is a privately owned lot. I think the bank.
Is that privately owned?
Yeah, the bank owns that.
All right, all of it now.
Yeah. They've had that for years.
So are we, what parking lots downtown are we being charged for then?
Charged? No, right now you don't have any parking downtown. Parking's free.
Oh, really? So we can get rid of those damn parking meters?
Well, we haven't used them.
And we can get rid of those, wait a minute, we can't get rid of the speed cameras.
We shut down the parking. You don't have to put money in parking meters. We did that during the COVID thing. That was part of the stimulus package.
Yeah, but you did it because of the COVID thing.
Well, no, and we did it at Christmas time. I'd say in the last 6 months.
What's your point here? I don't understand. Why are they there at all if they're not a funding mechanism or a stream of money for?
It costs money to take them out.
All right. Turn them back.
You're right.
Did you take some drugs before you got here today? Have you been?
But I was at a meeting about that.
Have you taken some hallucinogenic drugs?
No.
Because if you did, I'd like to take some as well.
Yeah, and you probably live with them.
I don't
live with them. But anyway,
them.
The parking meters, we do not use those in downtown anymore. They're kind of on a hiatus, if you want to call it that, and we will be addressing long-term if the parking meters will remain. The 2-hour parking limit is still in effect, and so they're still marking tires. But I think last month I saw the report. I think they wrote maybe 2 tickets for the month. I think we had $375 in revenue last month. A lot of that was just from people that hadn't paid their tickets the month before. So
those people, the ones that were supposed to round up and give the money to the food pantry. How'd that ever work out?
Like 8 years ago, yeah.
8 years ago.
Making it long.
Oh, I carried the ball about 3 years on that.
Yeah.
You know how much money actually went to the food pantry?
I think that was last time you were at a council meeting, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was. Nice try to divert the attention. I got
tired
tired of going to council meetings. Nothing ever got done.
Well, we do a lot of things, a lot of exciting things. We won't have a council meeting this Monday, by the way.
Yeah, well, I won't be
13th. Yeah, I know you won't be. Your radio station hasn't been there either. As a matter of fact, neither has Bill Shea. Nobody
Rob hasn't been over there?
No, Rob hasn't been there. We kind of, we just been back with people in the audience just for, 2 meetings now?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, for no more than gets done, I don't really see the need to meet.
No, we've got pages of things we're getting done. It's just
but it's just routine crap. I mean, just pass it.
That's the life
you
of the
guys
city.
just Zoom and say, okay, we're going to fix these roads.
We're actually sitting there. Speaking of roads, North 14th Street's being paved
Why
today.
are we talking about roads?
You just said roads.
Oh, yeah. I said roads.
Yeah.
Well,
so I was trying to change.
Trying to keep me off that racism thing.
Keeping you focused.
I think racism should be malleable. The term should be redefined so it can fit any situation. If a white person says good morning, we can label him as racist, bigoted, and ignorant.
Yeah, well, North 14th Street, which they started, they started that project. I don't know why they had a little delay in finishing that. They started it last year. I was under the impression it was going to get done, but they are finishing up the paving. That was probably one of the worst roads in town. It was.
Which one?
North 14th Street, right over here.
Yeah, I know where it is.
From 6th Avenue North to 9th Avenue North.
I used to live on North 14th Street.
Yeah, well, see, we're fixing your street.
My son was conceived on North 14th Street.
Under a tree.
Was that a little bit too much?
Was it under a pine tree? Or?
No, it was, as I recall, it wasn't.
Well, I can hear the radio dials changing now.
No, I don't think so. I think they always, I get a lot more listeners when you're on. And by the way, Matt Bemrick is next.
Matt's today?
Well,
I tuned in last week and he wasn't even there.
No, he wasn't. He went somewhere. I don't know where it was. I'm supposed to hell if he doesn't change his ways. But no, he was gone last week, and I'll be gone Thursday and Friday, Monday and Tuesday in the coming days.
So he can basically correct everything I say.
Yeah, well, if he's listening, which he never does, and he always should.
He's a busy guy. Yeah. No,
I think he is a busy guy.
And maybe we can get this mall and KDG straightened out, and you can ask him about parking. I could give you a list of questions for him. We're driving crazy.
Well, I'd really like to see you guys at your usual lightning speed get something done with the Warden Plaza and broadband, but okay.
I don't know what's going on with I know broadband's moving forward. We had a meeting on that.
By the way, I had Ferrick on the other day, and you weren't listening. You're always listening to Ferrick.
I actually...
Here comes the news and sports director, Rob Jones.
Oh, geez, he's got breaking news.
Don't tell me baseball's been canceled for the year. Here we go.
Iowa Cubs.
Oh, no. All right. Rob, you want to come in at 3:30, talk a little sports? I got a little time. All right, man. The Webster County Public Health Department offices will be closed to the public on Friday. I thought they were going to tell us because of the COVID virus, but actually they'll be closed on Friday for the 4th of July weekend. The COVID hotline will remain available to residents and will be staffed throughout the weekend. The COVID hotline can be reached by email at webcocovoid@webstercountyia.org or by calling, pay attention now, 515-227-7153. So you were talking about streets or parking lots, or what were you talking about?
I'm just trying to remember why you thought that was more important than me, but that's fine. I get over it. Yeah. So the streets were, I heard you did say yesterday that First Avenue South was open. I don't think it is.
No, it isn't.
They're still plugging along. but they're looking very good. I think they said.
Oh, they're looking good. Yeah,
yeah, it looks good.
We can't use it, but they certainly look good.
Oh, they look beautiful. They're doing a great job. Castor does a great job over there.
Jordan does. Jordan's my man. Haven't seen him in a long time.
Working. I heard somebody say something about 14th and First Avenue South. They wanted that open, but with all that construction over there and all the people, I think they still have some materials and some stuff stacked over there. So I don't think 14th Street will open until probably next week or the week after.
By the way, as the council redefines racism, could you give that to Councilman Allstott?
I would if I knew what you were talking about, because I didn't know we were redefining racism.
Oh, yeah, racism has been redefined. Don't you know?
No, I missed that.
No, racism has been defined as anything that offends anybody else. Except if you're old white guys like us. We can be insulted.
Like us?
Yeah. Oh. Well, I'm sorry. Did I put myself in the same illustrious category as Dr. Terry Minke?
Yeah.
What an error on my part, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. You should rescind your statement.
Yeah, I will. Okay.
Yep. So anyway, moving on, fireworks, they are now legal inside the city limits, June 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and you can shoot from 5 to 10, I believe.
Oh, wow. Permission has been granted, huh?
Well, trust me.
Have you been over to my neighborhood lately? Because
yeah,
I think somebody's got a 105 millimeter howitzer down on 9th Street there. They're blowing up the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's if you looked in the paper this morning, fireworks reports have been pretty strong over the last few days. I haven't seen any. I had a meeting with Roger this morning, but I didn't ask how many tickets they've actually written. That's a pretty substantial fine if you get caught shooting them outside the little.
It's $500, right?
Well, I think it's $750. I think
even more than that.
Yeah, we made it a little bit more.
It's curious that nobody seems to be afraid of that at all.
I know it.
Because they're ripping them.
Yeah.
And I did look at the newspaper this morning, and it was all over town. I thought maybe it had just been on my street, but it wasn't.
No.
It was North 29th, 15th Avenue South, everywhere.
Yeah, where I live at, I'm kind of on a hill, and so it echoes up and down that river valley. So they could be shooting them on, 7th Avenue North, and I'd probably hear them up where I live. So it's pretty bad.
Is your hearing getting a little bad there, old fellow?
No,
I think it is.
It's just I find that some things that are being talked about I'm less attentive to, so I don't think it's kind of like selective hearing that my wife's accused me of for years.
Yeah, you guys, you guys over the city, I tell you, I'm sorry, Lydia's in there too.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Lydia's in there too.
Yes.
Thank you for correcting me.
It's Lydia's son's 5th birthday today. I saw.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's wonderful. She has a beautiful family.
Yep, she does. Well, except for her husband. He's a little scrungy looking.
Is he?
Yeah, he's got a beard, and stuff.
Shaved head, that whole thing?
Yeah,
Keenan.
Yeah,
I've seen him. Keenan, that's right.
Yeah, he's a realtor.
No,
he's a good realtor.
I've encountered him a couple of times. He's always said hello.
He's quiet.
He's a friendly guy.
Yeah.
It seems
Lydia's the boisterous one in that family.
Lydia is boisterous?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway,
didn't get that at all.
You didn't?
No.
Yeah. So anyway, fireworks. Just be careful with them. Injuries from fireworks continue to climb. I would assume this year we're probably going to see more fireworks than we have in the last couple of years. Last year it wasn't too bad, but this year, because of everybody being locked down and the fact that I think people are more inclined to shoot them in times when you're depressed, it just makes them feel good to blow stuff up. So,
you really ought to stick to optometry there.
You're right. I should.
Jeez. I'm depressed, so I'm going to go out and blow up my neighborhood with some cherry bombs.
I don't think they have cherry bombs anymore unless they go to Missouri to get them.
I
don't think they're legal in Iowa.
I've told you before that you cross on Highway 5, just cross the Missouri border. And this time of year, there are these little shacks and stands all over the place, and they're selling M80s. Fireworks. Oh, yeah, M80s, all the good old stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if their business has been affected at all by the Iowa legalization.
Oh, it had to have been.
Yeah,
had to have been.
But they still sell the big stuff. So
I'm glad to see that we actually had some fireworks salespeople show up in our town. You guys made the bar pretty high.
You guys?
Yeah, you guys and Lydia. Now, don't make Lydia. See, there you go again. You're making her feel separated from the group.
Oh.
See. Yeah, I'll take care of the psychology part.
Okay.
You stick to asking people, is it clear here or is it clearer there? Okay, I'll do the human nature stuff, all right? I've got it.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you very much. I have a penetrating insight. Penetrating, Terry.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyway, I'm glad that you guys allowed some fireworks to be sold in our town. I know it always seems to be a steep hill for whatever reason, a big carry for you guys to do anything fun. So I'm really delighted that
That's the supervisors. They're the fun haters.
They're the supervisors. As long as Keith Dinklage is on the board, the supervisors are not fun haters. AM 1400 KVFD. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Dr. Menke.
Yeah, does Menke ever bring any of his cars to the car show?
Does Menke ever bring any of his cars to the car show? Do you ever do that, Terry?
Yes, in years past I have. This time I don't think my Tacoma would really impress anybody. I don't have any street rods left. I got out of that a couple years ago. So
you did?
Yep, I used to play with cars all the time. Thank you for bringing that up. I had a lot of fun working on cars in the heyday back.
Oh, you didn't work on them. You had the work done.
No. I did a lot. I was a mechanic when I was in high school. I was actually a Plymouth troubleshooter. See, now you're learning more. Now you're learning more about me than what you need to know. Yeah,
I already knew you were a porn star. Am I going to be shocked by the idea that you were a mechanic?
I worked when I got out of high school. I worked for 2 years as a mechanic in a Plymouth Chrysler garage, and that's back when cars were cars. That's when the original
big fins Plymouth. I used to love those things.
The Hemi Roadrunners, Hemi Cudas. We used
to
have those roll in.
Cool.
Yep, 426, not these little tiny ones that they got now.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I continue to hang with cars. My first car I ever had was a 39 Plymouth with a Dodge D500, which is a 315 cubic inch Hemi.
You remember the Super B?
Yep.
Yeah, that was
with the big wing.
Yeah, big wing. Yeah.
Well, some of them had big wings.
My dad was a car salesman. He worked for a Chrysler Plymouth shop at the time, and the Super B had come out in '69, '70 in there somewhere. And my dad, you never knew my dad, but he was a traditional salesman of his time. He had the snap brim fedora, and he had a tie and usually a white shirt because colored shirts indicated some sort of communism in his mind. So he always had to have a white shirt. Couldn't have an off blue one or something. And he always wore kind of a fur-lined top coat that came down to his knees, wingtip shoes, always. He said, well, and I stopped at the dealership and he said, well, you want to go for riding this new Super B? And I thought, well, my dad will just, right around the block or something. He went out on Highway 18, and by the time we hit Section Iowa, 7 miles away, we were doing over 100. And the old man was just talking to me like there was nothing going on. He was doing about 105 miles an hour.
Yeah, those are good. I was never a big Dodge fanatic. I was always Plymouth-oriented.
Plymouth-oriented.
A lot of the guys, when they were over in Vietnam, they used to order their cars through the exchange. They actually
they did, didn't they?
And we had one gentleman was in Vietnam, ordered a Hemi Cuda. It was blue. I remember that with a silver.
Hemi Cuda.
Yeah, it had a silver shaker hood on it. And Dick Hansen, who was a drag racer, used to run the Hairbender, which is around town now. One of the guys in town bought the original Hairbender, which was a 64 aluminum front end. Is more information you need to know. But anyway, Dick Hansen, we took it out for a road test because we wanted to make sure it was working all right. And that thing at 30 miles an hour, that hood was just shaking, and you'd punch it, and it would just, it was wild. They just don't make them like that anymore.
They don't.
Yeah, terrible car to drive, but it was a great car, power-wise.
I bet you're glad you got rid of all them old Dodges when they weren't worth anything.
Yeah,
well, they might be worth something now because, Dodge is, I guess, is there... I'll have to ask one of the Shimcats. They have Dodge trucks and
even Dodge
trucks
are called Rams. Yeah, but I think the caller's getting to is that the car show is the JMR Fort Dodge Ford Car Show is Friday night.
Yep.
The 3rd of July.
3rd of July.
Yep, and it'll be at Fort Dodge Ford. So we encourage everybody to go over there, maintain social distance if you can. But there's a lot of beautiful.
Knock it off, mommy.
Yeah, but there's a lot of beautiful cars in this area. A lot of guys come in from all over the upper region, and they have some real quality vehicles.
I don't know where all these Catholic mothers came from, and they're disguised in different ways. Some of them look like men.
A lot of them are going to be here. They're going to be in Des Moines as good guys.
Well, that's a good question. I mean, they've run into that conflict in the past. Good Guys draws a lot of cars, but I think a lot of the locals stay here, so you'll still see some good quality cars.
Where's the Good Guys show? Is that the fairgrounds?
Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, they're expecting, I think, 12,000 is what I heard, cars and people. Yeah.
You can drive 2 hours, walk around in the hot sun all day, drive the cars back home.
I've done that. Been there.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the good old days.
Hey, thanks for the call.
You bet.
All right. That program you were talking about, a guy I knew in the Army, ordered an Oldsmobile Judge that way. Remember the
Judge? Was
the
it
Judge.
Orange?
No, this one was canary yellow.
Oh, okay.
I think they only came in those two colors.
Yeah, I was going to say you don't
canary
see
yellow and orange.
Yeah, the orange ones you see quite often still. They still have those around.
No, white interior, just rocked.
Yeah.
Whoa. You want to go for a ride in my car? I said,
yeah. Yeah, those cars are pretty wild.
Let's go break the speed limit.
Actually, my wife learned how to drive with a GTO, 65 GTO. Buddy.
Oh, there was another great car.
What was that, a 351 motor with 3 deuces, I think? And
was it a 351?
His had it.
I thought that was a Ford motor.
Well, I can't remember. It was some weird number. Somebody can probably clarify.
Probably
that.
a 350.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know. It was some weird number, but it had 3 deuces on it, and my wife learned how to drive.
Redux,
Yeah,
huh?
it learned how to drive a straight stick with that vehicle. Needless to say, it was quite funny.
I am not kidding you. Billy Dow, and he's still with us, and he's a good guy. He lives up in Algona. His dad owned Dow's Garage, and Dow's sold... there's a caller here to correct me about something, I'm sure. AM 1400 KVFD, good afternoon. You're on the air.
389.
389!
Yeah, you're right.
Man, you are.
Thank you.
God, where would we be
I knew
without you?
I knew it was a weird number.
Anyway, listen to this. Billy Dow, my friend, whose dad ran Dow's Garage, the mechanics, when we were in high school, first they found a big old pink Oldsmobile. It was hot pink with a lime green interior.
Oh.
But, oh, God, it was the ugliest car you ever saw. It was so ugly, it was cool. Well, the mechanics in Dow's Garage put 3 deuces on it for him. And we'd take that thing out in the country, and he would just go right through the carburetors. Yeah. Not through the gears, the carburetors. And we were gone, and he had white wall tires on it, too. Again, so ugly it was cool.
Yeah.
It was just so ugly.
Those were good times.
They were.
Yeah.
How I survived them, I don't know.
I don't know either. My first car, I worked at the Plymouth garage, Ryan Motors in Sioux Falls, and I bought a Duster, a 340 Duster.
Oh,
automatic.
those were solid little cars.
Yeah, and didn't have any carpet. It had rubber mats inside. It was $2,800. I was paying next to nothing. My insurance was more than what my car payment was back then.
Well, the guy I just told you about that got the Olds Judge, I think he only paid $33 for it. Brand new, big car,
It's a Pontiac.
Is it a Pontiac?
Yeah, Pontiac Judge.
I don't
know.
Caller, are you still there?
Yeah.
Was the Judge a Pontiac or an Oldsmobile? I think Minky's all screwed up on this one.
Anybody that's got any intelligence at all knows it's a Pontiac.
See, there we go.
No.
Yeah.
Pontiac's a General Motors product.
Yeah, so
What do you mean anybody's got any intelligence? What was that, a shot? Hey, I don't need this. See you later. Anybody?
Yeah, that was a shot that went right over your bow. You didn't
No.
even know,
I was just rolling. Were you calling from the Chesterfield? All right, Terry Mankey is our guest, mechanic, porn star, councilman, optometrist. We'll be back.
Michael Devine, the Doctor of Truth.
Does anyone have anything they'd like to confess?
That AM 1400 KVFD.
It's 2:32. News is coming up.
Hey, nice red, white, and blue cape.
Thanks. Just doing my superhero thing.
What?
Yeah, just saving lives.
Really? Do tell me more.
Well, okay. Did you know that over a holiday weekend, there are stats as scary as 1 death every hour from alcohol-impaired driving crashes? So take my keys now.
So technically, we're all saving lives by not getting behind the wheel after drinking?
Exactly. Now all you need is to surrender your keys and earn your cape.
Brought to you by the Iowa Department of Public Safety, Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau.
Your news, your town, your station. KVFD News when it breaks.
48-year-old Brian Osborne of Fort Dodge has been sentenced to a quarter century in federal prison. He received that sentence in federal court after he previously pleaded guilty to charges of conspiracy to distribute and intent to distribute methamphetamine. Osborne does have a history of prior drug-related convictions. A Calhoun County woman has won $30,000 in prize money from the Iowa lottery. Barbara Block from Manson has won the fifth richest prize in the Iowa lottery's Amazing Money Scratch-Off game. The ticket was purchased at Dale's Corner Store here in Fort Dodge. Has more.
Jalen Cavell tweeted that he's physically okay and was hoping Reynolds would roll her window down and speak with the 24 protesters. The group traveled 90 minutes north of Des Moines to protest outside of some of the governor's events. A spokesman for the Iowa State Patrol told the Des Moines Register preliminary reports from the scene indicate Cavell intentionally stepped in front of the moving vehicle and was not hurt. The protesters have been urging Reynolds to sign an executive order by July 4th that would automatically restore voting rights to released felons. Radio Iowa, I'm OK Henderson.
In sports, number 1 Fort Dodge softball, 2-0 road win last night over Class 4A's number 1 team Carlisle. Jalen Adams a complete game 3-hit shutout, striking out 9. The game was scoreless through 4 innings. Dodgers got 1 in the 5th and 1 in the 7th. Senior Logan Snetzer drove in both runs for the Dodgers. Dodgers back in action tomorrow, hosting Des Moines North at Rogers Park for a doubleheader starting at 5. Dodger baseball on the road today, a doubleheader at Des Moines Lincoln. St. Edmunds softball on the road today, taking on Clear Lake. Baseball scores from the area last night. Algona fell to Esterville Lincoln Central 8-4. Pocahontas area remains unbeaten after downing West Bend Mallard 9-5. Panorama over Ogden 3-1. Webster City edged Nevada 6-5. Boone blanked Humboldt 8-0, and Newell Fonda cruised to a 17-5 win over Ridgeview. On the softball side, Humboldt blanked Pocahontas area 10-0. Emmetsburg over Manson Northwest Webster 11-8, and Newell Fonda over Okoboji 10-0.
For KVFD from the Jerry Sheeter Newsroom, I'm Rob Jones.
Here's a look at how the markets closed today. July corn up 9 3/4 to close at $3.48 1/4. September up 9 cents at $3.50 1/2. December up a dime at $3.60 1/2. March up 10 1/4 at $3.71 1/2. July soybeans closed up 9 1/2 cents at $8.93 3/4. August up 12 3/4 at $8.91 1/2. September up 14 1/4 to close at $8.91 1/4. November up 16 3/4 at $8.99. July wheat closed up 8 3/4 at $4.98 3/4. Soybean meal up $6.40 a ton at $2.92.70. August live cattle up $102 at $97.30. October up $95 at $100.67. August feeder cattle up $22 at $133.07. September up 65 cents at $134.02. July lean hogs down 37 cents at $44.80. August up a nickel at $49.07. I'm Dwayne Murley.
This is AM 1400 KVFD, the voice of Fort Dodge. We'll be back with Dr. Terry Minke in just a couple of minutes. It's 2:38, and the weather, first of all, is sunny with a high of 85 today. Overnight partly cloudy with a low of 70. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 90. Friday, a slight chance of rain. Otherwise, sunny with a high of 90. 4th of July, Independence Day, a chance of rain, mostly sunny with a high of 90. Sunday, I see a pattern developing. A slight chance of rain with a high of, 90. What bland conformity the weather's in here. We really need to shake it up a little bit. Monday, chance of showers and thunderstorms, sunny with a high of 90. See, there we go again. Guess what's going to happen Tuesday? Chance of rain, sunny with a high of 90. We need to change that. We need change, and we need it now. 83 degrees right now under a mostly cloudy sky. Obituaries this hour brought to you by Gunderson Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 1615 North 15th Street, Fort Dodge. You may contact Gunderson Funeral Home and Cremation Services by calling 515-576-7128 or online at www.gundersonfuneralhome.com. Arlene Douglas has passed away. Services for Arlene Douglas will be tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock at the Badger Lutheran Church. R. Dale Wooten has passed away. Mr. R. Dale Wooten has passed away. He died on Monday at his home. Gunderson Funeral Home is serving the family. Obituaries this hour brought to you by Gunderson Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 1615 North 15th Street, Fort Dodge. You may contact Gunderson Funeral Home and Cremation Services by calling 515-576-7128 or online at www.gundersonfuneralhome.com. It's 2:40 at AM 1400, KVFD, the voice of Fort Dodge, 83 degrees. Dr. Terry Menke in 90 seconds.
Guys, waking up over and over to pee is not okay. You can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. You can try a full 30-day bottle free. Just pay shipping and handling. No strings attached, no obligations, and no commitments to buy. Call 1-800-424-6557. 1-800-424-6557. 1-800-424-6557.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare contracts, and in the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare contract, you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit, 800-691-9999. That's 800-691-9999. 800-691-9999.
Michael Devine, the Doctor of Truth.
Does anyone have anything they'd like to confess?
At AM 1400 KVFD.
That's right. This is AM 1400 KVFD, the voice for Dodge. I'm Michael Devine, the Doctor of Truth, but I'm outshadowed once again today by a doctor of optometry. I know that should, doctor of optometry, you'd think that would be a low hurdle to get over, but apparently not, because the doctor of optometry that we have in the studio right now is also, yes, a city councilman, mechanic, porn star, and poet warrior. So Terry Menke is with us, and that is an impressive resume. I assume that I'm not describing your life in full, and I apologize.
No, I haven't even started.
I have never really, in all the years that we've known each other, really tried to find out much about you because I thought it would be uninteresting. But
yeah.
But I'm obviously wrong.
Remember that guy and was a cartoon who used to suntan all the time? That's my goal in life, is just to be.
Oh, Zonker Harris?
Yeah.
Zonker, yeah, he's going for the tanning championships. Yeah.
That's my next great accomplishment. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to achieving.
He was in his 40s, still a sophomore in college or something.
Yeah. So anyway, there is a lot of work being done in Fort Dodge. Construction, the mall redevelopment. We talked about this, I think, a little bit last week, the fact that they requested a zoning change from a shopping center to planned development. That's going to open up the opportunity to bring in a little bit more variety on the buildings and industries. Probably no industries out there, but some of the retail shops, medical type facilities, hotel, if we get somebody interested. In Bemrick Park, of course, we're going to put a statue of Matt out in the middle of it.
Well, somebody will deface it and call him a racist. John Greenleaf Whittier was a strong abolitionist in the 1830s, wrote extensively about the evils of slavery. There's a statue of him in Whittier, California, of him sitting, reading a book. Somebody wrote racist, slave owner, BLM, all those sort of things. John Greenleaf Whittier, a deeply religious poet.
I went to Whittier Junior High School in Sioux Falls, named after Mr. Whittier.
Oh, John Greenleaf Whittier, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's nice he was recognized.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you that. We were out in D.C. a few years ago, down behind the Senate, chambers floor.
Is that when you kept running away from the bar tab?
No, that was
Kim.
Kim kept trying to go outdoors, clearly marked "Do not leave here." Yeah, that trip.
Kim was looking for a free lunch.
He was just looking for a patio, I think. Gonna get some pictures, selfies.
All right.
But anyway, we were down there we were meeting with Senator Bozeman, who is an old college friend of mine, and Joni Ernst was down there too.
Where's he a senator from?
Arkansas. Yeah, he beat Blanche Lincoln, I think was the one.
Yeah.
And he was in the House for a number of years, and now he's been in the Senate for 10 or 12, something like that.
Bozeman.
Yeah, played lineman, University of Arkansas. Big guy,
did.
very quiet. Yeah, very nice man. I don't agree with everything he says or does, but he's a pretty straightforward